spiritual telepathy. You know I'm the main squeeze, sweeping it clean, bringing honky tonk man.
Hey, Barb, I think today's Thursday. Did you say Tuesday?
Happy Thursday.
So I'm here with Andres, and I'm just going to briefly go into how we met. So a while ago, we were talking about books that we were reading. I started reading a book called Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. It's talking about coincidence and synchronicity and this and that and spirit. And I'm over by the leg press, and the first thing I see is a gentleman standing next to me, and on his arm he has a tattoo of the third eye. So
What's the chances of that?
and so Andres, you could say your last name if you want, is here today, and I am very grateful.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Andre. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, muy bien. So, my name is Andres Chalarka. So I'm from Colombia. I was born in Colombia and raised in Belgium. And then I came when I was 20 years old to the United States. So I've been living here for like the last 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a really fun history. Yeah, and I met that day Chris at the gym. She asked me a couple questions, and I was open to answer. And when that happened, it's not coincidence, it's synchronicity. I don't believe in coincidence at all. At beginning, obviously, yes. I used to say, why this happened to me? I was a big complainer years ago. So I went through a lot of stuff, and I started learning all this. I went through. Honestly, it was like more knowledge. Knowing myself first. So one thing I can say is I'm Catholic,
Mhm.
Christian, and something I was there, but something was telling me it was something else. Or be a Christian who goes to church every Sunday. I respect that. I used to do that sometimes. I bring my kids to church. But I was thinking like it's something else there. It's something deeper. And then I went through a relationship, and that person brought me all this. She was already in meditation, Reiki. She used to read a lot of books. She used to draft the third eye and Buddhas and all this. But when I was with her, I never paid attention. So one day, somebody came and gave me as a gift. She brought me a Buddha, big Buddha, and I was like, "Why did she give me this?" And that person, I don't even know that person. And that person came to me and brought me a Buddha. And I was like, "What happened?" So I started following the messages, and I broke down with that girl.
So you saw those moments as messages.
Yes.
You did.
I think we're on the third dimension right now, right? Animals, they go to fourth dimension, and the hardest part is to get to the fifth dimension. You can reach your fifth dimension as soon as you start meditate. You start getting a lot of knowledge in that area over here, right? But it's not only that. The other thing you have to understand too is you have to work on yourself. You have to work on your egos. You have to work on your traumas.
Traumas, yeah.
You get traumas. They're not even yours. They're coming from your grandparents.
Yeah.
From your mother, from your father.
That's true.
From your uncles. You have to clear all that from yourself. It is hard.
Yeah, that sounds like scary in a way.
It is scary
too.
because at the end, if you analyze that, you don't own that. You don't own those. You don't own your ego even. It's not. That's why we live in the third dimension. third dimension is fake. For me, it's fake.
So you think that
It's not real.
can you define the third dimension? Is that like the present? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this life is like
Mm.
why you leave. If I ask you a question, do you want to be here? The type of life you have, that's what you want. And a lot of people is gonna answer no. They don't want to work. They don't want to be with a husband who fights all the time. They don't want to have problems like money problems.
Mhm.
They don't want to have that life. It's all fake. It's not real. It's not even made by you. It's being
Is
made.
there a possibility of the spiritual third eye taking you out of that realm and putting you in a happier place? That's what I'm talking about, Andre.
It is not even.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can tap out of that ugly world and tap in, make it more beautiful by going to a supernatural higher level.
Yes. How I can explain this?
You have to do it yourself, like you
Yes.
said. You have to change yourself.
Yes, and nobody's gonna come and save you. Nobody. Not even if you
But
pray.
Jesus can help you.
Not even if you go to church and you're in church every Sunday. That's not gonna save you.
No, but Jesus can, right?
Jesus, yes, he's a big guy.
Amen.
Yes,
Praise God.
I he's a big guy.
There we go.
I told Chris. You remember when we have the conversation on the phone, to put Jesus out of the religion for a second. Bring Jesus out of, just bring Jesus out of religion, from Catholic and
Okay.
Christians,
I never heard that.
and see what he did for everybody.
Oh, yes.
He was bringing
Dang it.
messages. He was bringing messages. He was bringing even the
Yeah.
power of healing, and everyone has a power. You maybe your power is talking. You can talk and make you can heal with your words. You can heal with your hands, right? And that's what he was doing over here. He was bringing the message, like telling you
Yes,
you can be a better person.
Yeah, he was bringing the messages and the stories that they tell, the myths. You just have to have the faith to believe, because whether or not Jesus was healing people, with the faith, you'll believe it. But there's always a little bit of doubt there, but it was a message.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have the messages passing by you every day. Every day.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see them. They can be knocking on your door. The
Mhm.
can be a letter on your door, can be a number on your door.
Yeah.
And you're going to open that door every day. And you're not going to see the message. And but what I'm 100% sure what's going to the only thing is going to put you to get the messages sometimes is hard times. Hard times, right? So you have to put love. For me is accepting you the way you are, not changing anything from you, just accepting the way how you are. And the other thing you have to do is gratitude. You have to be grateful every day, even for the bad things, because the bad things is where the bad moments, the struggle is where you're gonna learn. Happiness is not gonna make you. It's not gonna bring you knowledge. It's gonna just bring you a sensation of, you're releasing. How you call
Endorphins?
Yes, that's the only thing that what happiness does, and it's good for your body too, right? But going through hard moments and no blame nobody, just be grateful. Is magic.
Yeah, because they do say that you learn more from failure than you do from success.
Yeah, but don't complain. Don't complain. Just be grateful. In the moment, just whoever you believe in God, you believe in the universe, and the universe, or whatever you believe. Just be grateful with yourself. Just accept yourself. That's love, if you're short, tall, whatever you are physically, you have to accept yourself and say, I love this is loved, and be grateful, and that's magic. It's magic. You're gonna see things are gonna start changing later.
Yes, I started doing that lately, Andre, because my son told me that gratefulness is one of the highest forms of peace.
Yes,
So I've been becoming more grateful about things that I ordinarily would overlook, and I noticed that it brings a good sense of peace throughout the day.
yes,
Like I'll just be more grateful and less complaining.
yes. And magic, and believe me,
And magic happens, yes.
yes. And you're gonna see things
Because,
changing, and then you're gonna see things you wanted before, and then all is gonna start
yes,
coming. Good person, a good job, or you're gonna start your own business, or you something's gonna happen, something good is gonna happen. But don't forget that
and
happiness is like only a moment.
your
It's only a
happiness
moment.
is only like a temporary
Yes,
emotion.
yes. You have to realize
But
that.
uh-huh. And then tapping into the gratefulness, like you said, it just voids out the negativity,
Yes,
right?
yes. Now everything's gonna
Yeah,
be perfect.
that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Now, what about people who do complain a lot? Are they like? How do you look at? How do you view them?
7 years ago, I was one of them. Okay, you know who
And,
used to bring that message, do not complain? And back in the years, my mother. My
oh,
mother used to tell me on the phone all the time, Andres, don't complain. Andres, don't complain. And I don't want, and I was like, Mom, I don't complain at all. But I was complaining, even with that answer, right?
uh,
And she was, after that, I understood she was a messenger for me. She was bringing the message. But let's say 7, 8 years ago, you know, before to jump on all this,
Yeah.
I used to be surrounded by people like that, complaining all the time. We used to complain uh, everybody, friends, money, government. We used to complain about everybody,
yeah, I can relate to that.
and it was a hard vibe. It was a toxic,
It
right?
brings you down.
Well, they say birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yes. And then I started changing something. I went through a hard time, and I started
Okay.
changing everything. I started meditating. I started reading. I started being more grateful. I was working out more. I learned how to
Yeah,
how to do fasting. Fasting is a secret. Nobody
that's huge.
is as soon as you can detox your body and you start fasting. You can start fasting one day.
How long do you fast for? And just can you open up that secret to us?
So I fast every day. My last dinner is at,
Okay.
so like let's say now daily what I do. My last dinner is at 8 o'clock. I wake up. I get my vitamins, coffee, green tea, no sugar, no honey, nothing. Just water. Probably like 2 cups of coffee, 3 cups of coffee, and then green tea and water. No
Wow.
Red Bull, no Gatorade, no Coke, nothing.
Like,
And my first meal is gonna be around like 2 o'clock. And my second,
mm,
and me time, I get a little snack, apple or banana or some fruits throughout the day.
right.
And my last dinner is at 8 o'clock. The longest
I
I
can,
the longest I fast, I did fasting was like for 4 days straight.
wow. Oh
Water,
my God.
coffee, and uh, um, like a vegetable soup,
Broth,
but only broth,
vegetable broth. Yeah.
or a fish broth, or a chicken, or bone like beef,
Sure.
Wow.
or a little spicy. You know,
Oh my
that's
God.
help you to. At that time, I was working out, and that helps me a lot. But what happened during that time is you start being more conscious, and you can pray and meditate, and you're gonna see the connection be more. The connection with God or with the universe is gonna be bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can start changing things. The only problem I have, and this is something I'm working on it, I have to cut it out. I don't drink alcohol. Just when I go out, occasionally I drink a cup of wine or a beer. That's it. But my only problem is cigarette. I smoke. Big problem. That can cut that connection.
Sure, but you still have to love yourself.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, as soon as you start doing fasting, meditation, you're gonna see the connection with God bigger.
So you're talking about the 4-day fasting that you did with no food, or or just the intermittent fasting?
Like
as well?
intermittent fasting. That's what I think.
Ditto. And don't judge other people because you don't know how their spiritualness is really.
Yes.
So the comparison, like you said, you can't do.
In curiosity